Well, time to get into working. Hello everyone, Digi here, and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Category Cavalcade. In the last episode, I set up a poll that would allow you guys to vote for which archetype I should cover next for the episode. And it seems like you guys wanted Raidraptors to be next, with Watts being a close second. But, oh well, the other archetypes listed in the poll can be covered later. Anyway, this time, instead of just me discussing this archetype, I'm going to have a special guest with me to help me out with this episode. He's actually a good friend of mine, next to Wildcard, and I know how he really likes Raidraptors, and I definitely can't think of anyone else better for this subject. So how about you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Digi. Hello guys, I am Raptormon132, a blind reactor, fanfic writer, and a voice actor within the Brony fandom. You might also recognize me as the guy that played Big Mac in the Dartsiar episode, Test of Honesty. But a fact about me is that I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively in real life, and the Raidraptors are my favorite and go-to. When Digi told me that Raidraptors were next on the list, I was more than happy to help out with it.
Yep-a-roo! And now without any further ado, let's get started. Raidraptors is an archetype full of dark attribute winged beast monsters that heavily focus on Xyz summoning. They were first introduced in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster Pack Secrets of Eternity, and future support was added in Crossroads, Clash of Rebellions, Dimension of Chaos, Shining Victories, Maximum Crisis, Phantom Rage, and Phantom Nightmares. They were also used by the character known as Shea Obsidian, aka Shun Karazaki, in the Arc 5 anime and manga series.
A very great character, by the way. His backstory is very tragic, which, in my opinion, earns him to be compared to future Trunks from the Dragon Ball Z series. Oh, and I've also met his English voice actor in real life too, Matt Shipman. A great guy to meet. Anyway, the monsters resemble various genus and species of bird of prey, albeit with a mechanicalized appearance and equipped with weaponry.
And much like other Xyz-based archetypes, they focus on swarming the field with necessary monsters to perform Xyz summons. Most of their monsters have effects that allow them to be summoned rapidly to the field, but the easiest method for them to do so usually involves certain cards from the player's hand, and therefore they need to keep many resources in their hand to start their initial strategy.
The majority of the main deck monsters usually have effects that can be activated during the main phase of the turn they're normal or special summoned, and most of them are beneficial effects that help them for summoning more monsters to the field. However, some of them restricts the player from special summoning other than Raidraptor monsters if their effects are used, so careful consideration and planning ahead is necessary to utilize those cards to their maximum potential.
The archetype also has many other Xyz monsters within their arsenal, and some of them are specifically designed to eliminate multiple threats at once, particularly special summon monsters. The majority of them are also capable of inflicting mass amounts of damage, rather through their effects alone, directly or indirectly, or through attacking multiple times.
In this, we will also mention about the standard version and the advanced version of the deck of this archetype.
Anywho, let's get into the cards.
Raidraptor, Vanishing Lanius. Once per turn, during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned this turn, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster from your hand.
I like how with this card, you could potentially start off with a good Xyz combo.
Indeed, Vanishing Lanius is a need-to-have card for those who want to build the standard type. It's especially good if you can manage to draw all 3 in your hand, as you can summon out all 3 and one other straight to the field, giving you a chance to perform multiple Xyz summons. Although this card is not really added in the advanced type, and more for the standard type.
Raidraptor, Mimicry Lanius. Once per turn, during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned this turn, you can increase the levels of all Raidraptor monsters you currently control by 1. During your main phase, if this card is in the graveyard, Because it was sent there this turn, you can banish this card. Add one RaidRaptor card from your deck to your hand, except Raidraptor, Mimicrylanius. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, Mimicrylanius once per turn.
For this card's first effect, it could potentially make the Raidraptor monsters you control the same level to go into other Raidraptor Exist monsters. The second effect is need to add another Raidraptor to your hand, or hoof in my case.
And it can be either a monster, spell, or trap, as it says a card as long as it's a Raidraptor card. This card is highly recommended for either version of the deck.
Raidraptor, Tribute Lanius. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned this turn, you can send one Raidraptor card from your deck to the die. During your main phase 2, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this turn, you can add one rank up magic quick play spell from your deck to your hand. Also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Raidraptor monsters. You can only use each effect on Raidraptor, Tribute Lanius once per turn.
This card's first effect's condition is a little odd to me. It might as well should have been used when the monster is summoned, but whatever. At least it can get another Raidraptor into the graveyard. As for the second effect, I'm not really a fan of the condition that you have to be in main phase 2 and you have to destroy an opponent's monster by battle to add a rank up magic spell card, but whatever. The drawback of summoning only Raidraptor monsters makes sense.
True. The second effect is not so great. But its first effect on the other hoof is far more handy, as it's like a foolish burial for the archetype. A common combo is using it to send Mimicrylanius as well as other cards with effects that activate from the graveyard from your deck to your grave to activate their effects. This is why Tribute Lanius is recommended for any deck build of the archetype.
Raidraptor, Sharp Lanius, once per turn. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned this turn, you can target one face-up attack position monster in the field. Change it to face-up defense position. During your main phase 2, if this card attacked this turn, you can target one Raidraptor monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, Sharp Lanius once per turn.
I have no idea what's the point of making it an opponent's monster switch to defense position if there's no piercing effect or whatever. As for the second effect, while I'm not a fan of the condition, I do like that it's a monster reborn for Raidraptors.
In my honest opinion, this monster is not actually that good. I looked at it and it's not very useful. Apart from being a small beat stick, even its second effect is not good, as it can be easily countered. This is why it's not really recommended for making either forms of the deck.
Raidraptor, Ozzylanius. If you control a Raidraptor monster other than Raidraptor, Ozzylanius, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Raidraptor, Ozzylanius from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect on Raidraptor, Ozzylanius once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects, except Raidraptor monsters.
I like all of this card's effects. Special summoning from Hoof when controlling another Raidraptor except for itself, and adding another Fuzzy from deck to Hoof. And the drawback of summoning only Raidraptor monsters like previously makes sense.
Indeed, its effect is very good at summoning out more monsters for Exist summons, as well as getting another copy from your deck to your hand. However, you must always be mindful about its drawback of preventing you from summoning any other monsters apart from Raidraptors. So you've got to make sure that this monster is summoned last after you've summoned any non-Raidraptor monsters that turn, which we will get to that later. Anyway, this card is too recommended for either forms of the deck.
Raidraptor, Strangulanius. If you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except dark monsters. If you control a Ziz monster with a dark Ziz monster as material, you can target one level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster in your die, special summon it. but its effects are negated. You can only use each effect on Raidraptor, Strangulanius once per turn.
I have no idea what in kind of a celestial hell is with some of these conditions. Like, seriously, why do you need to control an Xyz monster with a dark attribute monster as material to activate its effect? What kind of fucking smoke were they cracking on? Well, at least the first effect's condition isn't horrible. Just, what the hell's with the second one, though?
I can answer that. Its second effect is handy for summoning out after you've Xyz summoned a Raidraptor or a Dark Monster with one as a material. This is good to summon another Raidraptor from your grave to perform another Xyz summon, especially one certain card if it's in your graveyard, which we will get to when we get there. And the drawback of being barred from summoning non-Dark type monsters is not a real issue, if you have a pure Dark type deck. This card is highly recommended for the advanced form of this deck, although you can use it for the standard type as well.
Raidraptor, Rudder Strits. If this card is special summoned from the hand by the effect of a Raidraptor card, or normal summoned, you can inflict 600 damage to your opponent. When an opponent's monster declares an attack that targets this card, you can special summon up to 2 Raidraptor monsters from your hand. And if you do, monsters your opponent controls cannot target those monsters for attacks this turn.
The first effect is strange because it might as well should have been either inflicting an 1,000 or inflicting damage to your opponent, insert some condition times the number of points to inflict here kind of shit. While the second effect feels like Battlefader in a way, or some other hand trap that stops attacks.
This card I would not recommend for either type, unless you want to make your Raidraptor deck into a sort of burn deck. But anyway, it's not that good, in my honest opinion.
Raidraptor, Avenge Vulture. If you take damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Raidraptor monsters.
This monster is strange because from what we see of the Raidraptor so far, they seem to have 2 effects. This one doesn't. Instead, it only has 1. And that I can see someone using when a Raidraptor monster gets destroyed by battle or something. Although, I don't really think it's as great as Gore's the Emissary of Darkness.
I have to agree, as this one is not one that a lot of people use. Either way, this card is not that good for either version of the deck builds.
Raidraptor, Loom Vulture. If you do not control any face-up monsters, other than Winged Beast monsters, you can special summon both this card and 1 Raidraptor monster from your hand. If you control no monsters, you can target 2 level 4 or lower Raidraptor monsters in your die, including this card, special summon them in defense position. You can only use 1 Raidraptor, Loom Vulture effect per turn, and only once that turn. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate either of these effects, except dark monsters.
I like that this card is another one of those Xyz starter combo kind of monsters.
That's right. It's because of that reason that this card is a highly recommended card to use in either version, although it's mostly used in the advanced version. It is also another card handy for getting out a certain card.
Raidraptor, Booster Strits. When a Raidraptor monster you control is targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your hand, destroy the attacking monster.
This one is another one that only just has 1 effect. Weird. Anyway, I guess it's nice to use it as a hand trap just to get rid of that 1 monster your opponent has, assuming it doesn't have protection or something.
Yeah, that can be a problem, as it would be useless against an opponent that has monsters that cannot be targeted, destroyed, and or affected by card effects, or even has negations to counter and stop it. This is why I don't recommend this one in either version.
Raidraptor, Mapon Pregonius. Once per turn, you can inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn, except Raidraptor monsters. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the die, you can special summon 1 Raidraptor monster from your deck, but its effects are negated.
Definitely one of those cards where it has its niche usage.
I agree. Like with Raidraptors, I would not recommend this for either type, unless you want to make your Raidraptor deck into a burn deck.
Raidraptor, Necrovulture. Once per turn, you can tribute one Raidraptor monster, then target one rank-up magic spell card in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. Also, you cannot summon for the rest of this turn, except with the effect of a rank-up magic spell card.
This one is like, let's retrieve a rank-up spell card from your grave, but at the cost that you can't Z-summon any further, except from the effect of those kind of cards. I guess that if you have Xyz monsters on your field that you want to upgrade, that's fine, but honestly, it's definitely a weird card in my perspective.
Yeah, this monster is also not that good, and not many people ever run this monster in their decks. And the effect can be useless and countered with cards that can banish cards from your graveyard. So yeah, this card is not one I recommend for either version of the deck build.
Raidraptor, Singing Lanius. If you control a face-up Gsmer monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Raidraptor, Singing Lanius once per turn this way.
And yet another Raidraptor monster where it only has one effect. And it's a special summon for further Xyz plays or something.
Yes, this is another monster highly recommended for either deck style, as it's extra summoning material for further Xyz summoning, as long as you have an Xyz monster on your field.
Raider's Wing. This card is always treated as the Phantom Knights and Raidraptor card. If this card is in your hand or die, you can detach one material from your Dark Gsmer monster, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect on Raider's Wing once per turn. A Gsmer monster whose original attribute is dark and has this card, as material gains this effect.
I do like the giving in a dark attribute Xyz monster targeting protection from this guy, especially special summoning itself as long as you have materials. What would make it better though is if the Xyz monster also had built-in card destruction protection with this guy on top of that.
Indeed. In fact, this was the monster I was talking about with certain combos involving certain cards, like Tribute Landius, Strangle Landius, and Bloom Vulture. Tribute can send it to the grave, then you can either special summon it from your grave by either its own effect, or by the effects of Strangle or Bloom, depending on the circumstances. Raider's Wing is also classed as two different archetypes, and its bullet point effect is quite good with your Xyz monsters as it adds protection. This is a major reason why this monster is highly recommended in either deck build.
Raidraptor, illegal. If all monsters you control are Raidraptor monsters, minimum one, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your die, then target one Raidraptor spell/trap in your die, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect on Raidraptor, illegal once per turn.
Ignoring the first effect, as I already stated in a previous Raidraptor monster, the second effect of instead of retrieving a monster, it's having you swipe a spell trap card instead. Which I could see come in handy depending on what Raidraptor spell trap card is.
Uh-huh. This monster's effects are good, as it can be special summoned and be used as material to summon out a certain Link monster, in addition to its graveyard effect to get certain Raidraptor spells and traps from your graveyard. This one is another recommendation for the deck, particularly for the advanced type.
Raidraptor, Last Tricks. If a Raidraptor monster you control battles, while you have any spell/trap cards on your field or in your graveyard, during damage calculation, in either player's turn, you can special summon this card from your hand, then gain 100 LP for each spell/trap card you control and in your graveyard. You can tribute this card. Your opponent takes no battle damage this turn. Also, you special summon one Raidraptors as monster from your extra deck in defense position, but its effects are negated. Also return it to the extra deck during the end phase. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, Last Tricks once per turn.
This card's effect I do like with the whole gaining life points, but However, I don't like the condition where you have to activate this specifically during the battle phase and during damage calculation, which I'm just like, why in the name of Celestia did you have to write it that way? Well, the last effect I find pretty cool that you can bring forth another extra deck Raidraptor monster for extra deck plays. I just find it a little strange given the drawback of your opponent getting damage protection that turn.
Well, I can explain this. Those who run it mainly use it for its second effect rather than its first. A combo that I've seen and done is by using this to special summon Raidraptor Xyz monsters from your extra deck to then rank up. Sure, the drawback of your opponent receiving no battle damage that turn is a little inconvenient, but they're not safe from effect damage. It's usually good for first turn plays to get certain big boss monsters out to your field. This is why people use it in the standard type deck, although it's not actually used in the advanced type.
Raidraptor, Painlanius, cannot be used as an Xyz material for an Xyz summon, except for the Xyz summon auto winged beast type monster. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Raidraptor monster you control that has a level take damage equal to its core death, whichever is lower, but your choice, if tied. And if you do, special summon this card, and if you do that, this card's level becomes the current level of the targeted monster. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, Painlanius once per turn.
Given Raidraptors are wing beast monsters, I guess Painlanius' deal of not being used as Xyz material unless if it's another wing beast monster makes a lot of sense. The pain cost of summoning it from your hand is a little odd, but at least it's lower attack or defense.
True, though there are ways around it. A great combo is to use this card with Raider's Wing, as Raider's Wing has 0 attack, and due to it being the lowest, you take no damage. But even if you don't and choose another Raidraptor monster, it's just a small cost. A small peck on the head, you can say. This card is also recommended for either type of deck build.
Raidraptor, Skull Eagle, if this card is detached from an Xyz monster and sent to the graveyard to activate that monster's effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Raidraptor card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, Skull Eagle once per turn. A Xyz monster that was summoned using this card in the field, as Xyz material gains this effect. Question mark. If it is Xyz summoned, it gains 300 INC.
This one I feel like shouldn't be used either. Like, the first effect sounds cool and all, but the condition of it requiring to have itself being detached from an Xyz monster to banish itself from the grave as a cost feels off to me. It might as well have itself be in the grave, then banish itself to use its effect. And as for the attack boost effect, while it is cool, it should have been 1,000 attack points.
I actually have to agree with you on this. This is why not many put this card into the deck, apart from summoning out the rank 3 Xyz monster.
Raidraptor, Wild Vulture, during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned this turn, you can tribute this card, special summon to Raidraptor monsters from your hand and or graveyard whose total levels equals 6.
The level restriction of the effect of special summoning Raidraptor monsters from your hand or graveyard is strange, but at least it is still nice to have.
Well, in my opinion, this one is not really that good. Mainly because of the fact of summoning Raidraptor monsters that equal to 6, as most monsters of the archetype are mainly level 4. Unless you're planning on using the level 3s for a certain rank 3 Xyz monster, it's not recommended for either style of the deck build.
Raidraptor, Fiend Eagle, 2 level 3 Raidraptor monsters. You can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one face-up special summon monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack in the field. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, Fiend Eagle once per turn.
If you wanted to finish off your opponent with burn damage, I guess this will work.
Well, I guess. although there are a few that can do just as good, if not better job in terms of burn damage, but this one is not really recommended for either deck build.
Raidraptor Force Strix. 2 level 4 monsters gains 500 attack/defense for each winged beast monster you control, except this card. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Add 1 level 4 dark winged beast monster from your deck to your hand.
Definitely a recommendation as an Xyz monster starter when adding level 4 Raidraptor monsters. Also, it is kind of cool you could use this thing as a beat stick or a shield depending on what you want to do for this card.
Indeed. Forstrix is actually the most important Xyz monster in either style of the deck. It allows you to build up early card advantage by constantly searching for the majority of your monsters, while also serving the deck's first line of defense. When building the standard or advanced style, always remember to have this card in your extra deck.
Raidraptor, Rise Falcon, 3 level 4 winged beast type monsters. This card can attack all special summoned monsters your opponent controls, once each. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 face-up special summoned monster your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to that monster's current attack.
I believe the anime counterpart of this card was more insane than this counterpart. Seriously, just look up the scene where Shay summoned this thing and used its effect to target all of his opponent's monsters. Then you'll see what I mean.
Ah yes, this was the first of the Raidraptor extra deck monsters to appear in the anime. And you are right, in the anime its counterpart gains the attack of all monsters on your opponent's field, although it returns to normal after it battles, unlike the original. This version makes the monster more fair and playable, otherwise this card would definitely be on the ban list without delay. Anyway, you can run this monster in the standard deck if you wish, but it's not recommended in the advanced deck.
Raiders Knight 2 level 4 dark monsters. This card is always treated as the Phantom Knights and Raidraptor card. You can detach 1 material from this card, special summon from your extra deck, 1 the Phantom Knights, Raidraptor, or Xyz Dragon Xyz monster that is 1 rank higher or lower than this card, by using this face-up card you control as material, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase. This is treated as an Xyz summon. Transfer its materials to the summoned monster. You can only use this effect on Raiders Knight once per turn.
This monster is definitely interesting, for the fact it's treating itself as a Phantom Knights and Raidraptor monster, along with its effect of performing an Xyz summon using itself as material combined with whatever materials you might have left on the card, allowing you to summon out Arc Rebellion, Dark Requiem, or some other Raidraptor or a random Phantom Knights monster. Pretty good deal if you ask me.
That's true. Raiders Knight is a pretty good addition to add to the deck, especially the advanced type. This is a main go-to to bringing out certain Xyz monsters.
Raidraptor, Stranger Falcon, 2 level 5 monsters. If this card has an Xyz monster, has Xyz material, it gains this effect. Question mark. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal its original attack. If this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can target 1 Raidraptors as monster in your graveyard, except Raidraptor, Stranger Falcon, special summon it, and if you do, attach this card to it as Xyz material.
Another thing I noticed with these monsters is that if they have another Xyz monster as a material, either another Raidraptor or just another Xyz monster in general, they get to gain another effect. This one is good to not only destroying one of your opponent's monsters, if not the only one, but inflict damage to them in the process.
True. In my opinion, this one is a bit better than Fiend Eagle, as it can not only destroy an opponent's monster and inflict damage, but also reborn a Raidraptor Xyz monster in your graveyard, and attach itself as an overlay if it gets destroyed by battle or card effects. However, this card is not recommended for the advanced type, but more for the standard type.
Raidraptor, Raidraptors, 2 level 5 monsters. A Raidraptor Xyz monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Question mark. This card gains attack equal to its rank times 100. You can only use one of the following effects of Raidraptor, Raidraptors per turn, and only once that turn. You can detach one material from this card, set one Raidraptor spell/trap from your deck. If this card has a winged beast monster as material, you can detach one material from this card, add one rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand.
The gain attack effect could have been better, but whatever. The other effect of setting one Raidraptor spell trap card directly from your deck is handy. And the third effect, while I'm not a fan of the condition it needs to have, I do think fetching a rank up magic spell is alright.
Well, yes. This monster is actually good for those two reasons. Although the effect of fetching a rank up spell, it is also optional for setting them on the spell and trap zone, instead of adding it to your hand. This is handy in countering possible counter cards like Ash Blossom, and its attack boost effect is very handy when being used for summoning out a certain big boss monster, which we will get to soon. This is why it's recommended to add this to the advanced type of the deck.
Raidraptor, Blaze Falcon, 3 level 5 winged beast type monsters. This card can attack directly, while it has Xyz material. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, destroy as many special summon monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed.
This one is pretty sweet. It's built to attack directly as long as it has Xyz material, while also having an effect that it's pretty much Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiends. This card should be used in the deck.
In the standard type, yes. It can come in handy when facing a deck that has special summons, although it can be countered by card effects that can negate it if it hasn't got Raider's Wing attached for protection, or facing up a deck that has normal summons, which is a reason why it's not recommended in the advanced type. I do admit that it was actually good when the deck first came out.
Raidraptor, Revolution Falcon, 3 level 6 winged beast type monsters. You can detach one Xyz material from this card. This turn, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls, once each. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's face-up special summon monster, that monster's attack and defense become 0. If this card has a Raidraptor Xyz monster, has Xyz material, it gains this effect. Question mark. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack that monster had in the field.
If this monster managed to get enough attack points when using its first effect, I can see it being a monster board wipe for the opponent. And if you have enough monsters, other than Revolution itself, and your opponent has no protection, you can pretty much go for game from there.
That's true. Revolution Falcon is another monster that is good against multiple monsters, particularly ones that were special summoned. Even an attack boosting effect like Honest wouldn't have an effect. Its second effect is good as well, as it can pop a monster and inflict damage. It can be versatile for defense as well, since it has a high defense power and the effect works when it's attacked and is attacked. This is why it's good for the standard type, although it can be optional for the advanced type too.
Raidraptor, Revolution Falcon, Air Raid, 3 level 6 winged beast monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card by discarding one rank up magic spell and using a rank 5 or lower Raidraptor Xyz monster you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if it lies face up, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack it had in the field. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one Raidraptor, Revolution Falcon from your extra deck. And if you do, attach this card to it as material.
I do like the alternate condition to summon this monster. It's pretty handy if you don't have any 3 level 6 winged beast monsters you control. Popping a monster your opponent controls to inflict damage to it is cool as well, but it is a shame that it has to be a face-up monster. Granted, it does make sense since a face-down monster doesn't have immediate attack and defense points until it was flip summoned or being attacked by an opponent's monster, but still though.
In my opinion, I'm not so sure about this one, and I've never actually played this card. In fact, as cool as the effect sounds, it's not really as good as the original Revolution Falcon, even though you can possibly get it out when it gets destroyed. But regardless, I don't recommend this one for either type of the deck.
Raidraptor, Arsenal Falcon, 2 level 7 monsters once per turn. You can detach one material from this card. Special summon one level 4 winged beast monster from your deck. If this card has any number of Raidraptor monsters as material, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, while it has a Raidraptor monster as material, you can special summon one Raidraptors as monster from your extra deck, except Raidraptor, Arsenal Falcon, and if you do, attach this card from your graveyard to it as material.
I do like all the effects of this monster. Special summoning one level 4 winged beast monster from your deck, the ability to attack more than once depending on the amount of Raidraptors as material, and floating onto another Raidraptor monster on top of that. This card is pretty awesome.
Indeed. This monster is definitely recommended for either type, especially the advanced type. It is handy to summon additional monsters and for getting out certain other extra deck monsters when it leaves the field.
Raidraptor, Satellite Cannon Falcon, 2 level 8 winged beast monsters. If this card is XC summoned by using a Raidraptor monster as material, you can destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 800 for each Raidraptor monster in your graveyard.
The first effect is pretty much a Harpy's Feather Duster if it was given the spell speed 4 treatment. The second effect, while it isn't always the case, it feels like most of the time the monster might as well go down to 0.
True. This monster is also really good, as it can get rid of any of your opponent's spells and traps, as it prevents them from activating any effects in response, assuming they don't have any counter traps to negate the summon beforehand. And you can weaken their monsters with the second effect, and it's not just once per turn either, and you can use it at any time on either player's turn. This monster is highly recommended for either type.
Raidraptor, Ultimate Falcon, 3 level 10 winged beast monsters unaffected by other cards' effects. You can detach one material from this card. For the rest of this turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose 1000 attack. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. If this card has a Raidraptor monster as material, it gains this effect. Question mark. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1000 attack. Also, if your opponent controls no face-up monsters, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent.
Ultimate Falcon definitely is a beast. Being unaffected by almost anything, making your opponent's monster lose attack, and locking the opponent out for plays for the rest of the turn. And if they have a Raidraptor as an exist material, every end phase making the opponent's monster potentially lose more attack, or if they have no monsters, or at least any face-up monsters, inflicting 1000 points of damage. That is actually cool as hell. The only things that can kill this thing is either destroying it in battle with a high attack monster, and or tribute the fucker off the field with something like Raw Sphere Mode, or a Kaiju, or some other monster in general that requires tributes for its summon.
Again, that's true. Ultimate Falcon is a huge boss monster for any RaidRaptor deck. This monster really makes duels real tough, especially if you manage to get 2 of them out onto your field. I know this from first-hand experience, which is why I really do like this monster.
RaidRaptor, Final Fortress Falcon, 3 level 12 monsters. If this card has a RaidRaptor Xyz monster, as Xyz material, it isn't affected by other cards' effects. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, return all your banished RaidRaptor monsters to your graveyard. Up to twice per turn, when this attacking card destroys a monster by battle, you can banish 1 RaidRaptor Xyz monster from your graveyard. This card can attack again in a row.
This one is sort of disappointing, in the aspect that it's unaffected by other cards' effects is there if you have a RaidRaptor Xyz monster. The other effects that this card has is fine. I do personally like the effect where it essentially is a barrier from a different dimension for Raidraptors.
I actually agree. It's okay at best as a beat stick, but its effect is not as good as Ultimate Falcon, which is why I don't recommend this monster for either style of the deck.
Raidraptor, Rising Rebellion Falcon, 5 level 13 winged beast monsters unaffected by other cards' effects. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. Then, if this card has 3 or more RaidRaptor Xyz monsters with different names as material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined original attack of the destroyed monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 3 materials from this card, then target 1 RaidRaptor Xyz monster in your die. This card gains that monster's effects until the end phase.
This one is a massive upgrade from Ultimate Falcon. Although, I wanted to point out that the third effect of this monster, while it is great to have, I have seen monsters having a better deal than it. Also, I want to point out this monster is a rank 13, which is as rare as level 0 monsters and a level 1 synchro.
You're right. Rise Rebellion Falcon is a massive upgrade. Its effect is also very powerful, as it can be lethal to your opponent if you play it right, and that this monster can be difficult to get out due to it being a rank 13, of which there are only 2 in existence. However, there are ways to get it out by means of a certain rank up magic spell, which we will get to soon. All in all, this monster is a major card to have in either type, especially the advanced type.
Raidraptor, Wise Tricks to Dark Winged Beast monsters. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 Dark Winged Beast monster from your deck in defense position, but negate its effects. Also, it cannot be used as link material. If your Raidraptor Xyz monster's effect is activated, set 1 rank up magic spell directly from your deck, and if it is a quick play spell, it can be activated this turn. You can only use each effect of Raidraptor, Wise Tricks once per turn.
The first effect is handy that you want to extend your combos, and the whole drawback of not using it as link material is usually not a problem if you want to mostly use Xyz monsters. But if you were to play a deck that heavily relies on link summoning, that can be a big issue. Also, the effect of setting up a rank up magic spell card from your deck and then allowing you to use that same card within the same turn, that is pretty cool.
That's right. Wystrix is a great addition to add to the deck, in whichever type you make, whether it's the standard type or the advanced type. Those like myself use this for rank up Xyz summon combos, as it is vital to get out certain powerhouse monsters to your field quickly.
Phantom Knight's rank up magic force. During the main phase, banish 1 or more dark monsters from your graveyard. Then target 1 dark Xyz monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 the Phantom Knights, Raidraptor, or Xyz Dragon Xyz monster, whose rank equals that of the targeted monster you control plus the number of monsters banished. by using it as material. Also, for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, except Night Cease monsters. This is treated as a Night Cease summon. Transfer its materials to the summoned monster. You can only activate one Phantom Knight's rank up magic force per turn.
With this card, I do like that you could potentially rank up your Zeus monster higher than it usually does. Although, I'd rather be careful with the amount of dark monsters you banish because it could potentially waste your resources for future plays. But it depends on how many you banished. Also, is it just me, or the icon made for this rank up card looks like a Decepticon logo?
You know, now that you've mentioned it, yes. It does kind of look like a stylized version of the Decepticon symbol. Maybe the card makers secretly got inspired by Transformers when designing the symbol. But all that aside, this rank up spell is good, since it can be used with Raidraptors, Phantom Knights, and Xyz dragons. But one needs to use this with caution due to its effect of banishing other extra deck monsters.
Raidraptor, call. Target one Raidraptor monster you control. Special summon one monster with the same name as that monster in the field from your hand or deck in defense position. You can only activate one Raidraptor call per turn. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card, except Raidraptor monsters.
Another one of those cards that can extend your plays further. Pretty cool if you ask me. I also like the artwork showing on a beautiful bright sky.
That is nice artwork, I agree. And this card is really handy as it can let you summon more Raidraptor monsters. It does have a drawback of you not being able to summon any other monsters besides Raidraptors, but it's not so bad if the remainder you summon are of that. Otherwise, it's always best to activate it after summoning other possible non-Raidraptors to work around it. People usually use this in the standard type, but not in the advanced type.
Raidraptor, Glorious Bright. If you control a Raidraptor monster, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Or, if you control a Raidraptor Night Cease monster, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls. Negate that card's effects until the end of this turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your Raidraptor monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use one Raidraptor Glorious Bright effect per turn, and only once that turn.
I do like this card's first effect more, as I do like the idea of negating an opponent's card that could potentially stun them the entire turn, or just slow their plays to an extent.
That's true. This card is like an alternative to Infinite Impermanence. Its second effect of adding a Raidraptor monster from banished or graveyard to your hoof can come in handy too. This card is recommended for either type of deck play.
Raidraptor Nest. If you control two or more Raidraptor monsters, you can add one Raidraptor monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor Nest once per turn.
I like the idea of adding a Raidraptor monster to your hoof, but I don't like the condition where you have to have two or more Raidraptor monsters on your field.
Yeah, I guess it was created with monsters like Vanishing Lanius in mind when it was first created. But it's not that big of an issue if you can get them out. The thing you have to watch out for is if your opponent has search negates, like Ash Blossom, to stop it. All in all, this card is recommended too for either playing deck style.
Raidraptor Readiness. This turn, Raidraptor monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. If you have a Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You take no damage this turn.
Great card to use. I can see this card potentially being a Wabaku for Raidraptors.
In a way, yes. This can save your monsters from being destroyed by battle that turn, and or block all forms of damage. However, it doesn't protect them from being destroyed by card effects, so always keep that in mind. This card is recommended for the standard type, but not really for the advanced type.
Raidraptor Return. If a Raidraptor monster you control is destroyed by battle, target one Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. if a face-up Raidraptor monster or monsters you control is destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Add one Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect on Raidraptor, return once per turn.
It's a cool card, but it feels like something I wouldn't use in a deck. Despite the whole adding a Raidraptor monster to your hoof is a good effect.
To be honest, I agree. This card is not really good. In fact, I've even seen other players not run this card in their decks, which is why I don't really recommend this for either deck type.
Raidraptor, Roost. If a Raidraptor monster or monsters is special summoned from the extra deck to your field, except during the damage step, you can add one Raidraptor spell/trap from your deck to your hand, except Raidraptor, Roost. You can target 3 of your Raidraptor monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw 1 card. You can only use each effect on Raidraptor, Roost once per turn.
Both of this card's effects are pretty decent, but I do personally prefer the second effect, as I like the idea that you can recycle your Raidraptor monsters, preferably in your banishment pile.
That's true. It's a great card to have to add back Raidraptor monsters that you have banished or in the graveyard back to your deck, and to draw a card. Look at it like a version of Pot of Avarice. The first effect, in my opinion, is actually good too, as this can add certain Raidraptor spells and traps from your deck to your hoof after Xyz summoning a Raidraptor from your extra deck. I recommend this card for either deck, but mostly for the advanced deck.
Raidraptor Replica. Target 1 Raidraptor monster you control. Special summon 1 monster with the same name from your deck. And if you do, as long as you control the face-up special summon monster, monsters your opponent controls cannot target the targeted monster for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target the targeted monster with card effects.
Special summoning a copy of one of the Raidraptors you targeted along with them having protection from attacks and card effects that target a card, that is pretty decent. The only sad thing is that they can still be wiped by cards like Raigeki.
Yeah, that's probably a reason why no one really runs this card. Sure, it seems like a great card, but there are ways to work around it, like card effects that wipe out cards without targeting, like Raigeki for instance. So, this card is not one I would recommend for either style.
Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw. When a monster effect is activated, detach 1 material from your Dark Gsmer monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Then, if the detached material was the Phantom Knight's, Raidraptor, or Gsmer Dragon card, 1 Raidraptor Gsmer monster you control gains attack equal to that destroyed monster's original attack. You can only activate 1 Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw per turn.
This is a cool negation card. I am disappointed that it has to be a monster effect, but whatever, better than no negation. Also, I do like the gain attack effect to add on to one of your Raidraptors.
I agree. It's a good card to negate monster effects, as well as powering up one of your monsters in the process. It's recommended for the standard type, but I'm not too sure about the advanced type. So I'll say it can be optional.
Rank up Magic Doom Double Force. Target 1 Raidraptor Gsmer monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle and sent there this turn. Special summon it. Then special summon from your extra deck 1 Gsmer monster that has twice the rank of that monster by using it as the Gsmer material. The special summon is treated as an Gsmer summon.
This rank up magic card is cool, allowing you to monster reborn a Raidraptor Gsmer monster along with ranking them up.
That's true. It's another way to get out Ultimate Falcon if they destroy Blaze Falcon or any other rank 5 Raidraptor Gsmer monster. It's an optional card to play in the standard type.
Rank up Magic Raid Force. Target 1 face-up Gsmer monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 Raidraptor monster that is 1 rank higher than that target by using that target as the Gsmer material. The special summon is treated as an Gsmer summon. Gsmer materials attached to that target also become Gsmer materials in the summon monster. you can banish this card from your graveyard and one Raidraptor card from your hand. Then target one rank up magic spell card in your graveyard, except rank up magic raid force, add it to your hand.
This rank up magic card is okay. It only does the bare minimum of what other rank up magic cards usually do, and the second effect is nothing special to write about.
I disagree about that, as its second effect is handy for getting certain rank up spells that might be in your graveyard back to your hoof to play them again. Although, I do agree that the first effect is okay at best. I guess it's why people use this card in the standard type, although it's not recommended in the advanced type.
Rank up Magic Raptor's force. If a Raidraptor Xyz monster was destroyed and sent to the graveyard this turn, while you controlled it, target one Raidraptor Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then special summon from your extra deck one Raidraptor monster that is one rank higher than that monster, by using it as the Xyz material. This special summon is treated as an Xyz summon.
This one being a monster reborn while doing the usual rank up. Not really much to say there other than being cool, I guess.
In my opinion, this rank up spell is not really all that good, as there are better rank up spells. This is from experience with testing out cards and stuff. This one I don't recommend for either type.
Rank up Magic Revolution Force. During your turn, target one Raidraptor Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one Raidraptor monster that is one rank higher than that target, by using that target as the Xyz material. Question mark. During your opponent's turn, target one Xyz monster your opponent controls with no Xyz materials. Take control of that Xyz monster, then special summon from your extra deck one Raidraptor monster that is one rank higher than that monster, by using it as the Xyz material. These special summons are treated as Xyz summons. Attached Xyz materials also become Xyz materials in the summon monster.
Okay, the effect of this card if you use it on your opponent's turn is kinda cool. It's a shame that it has to be an Xyz monster with no materials, but at the same time, I can kinda understand why it is. Could have been a monster that is a bit too powerful, I guess.
That's true. I would say the effect is okay if one is going up against another Xyz player, as long as the opponent's monster has no overlay units. I guess it can be optional to play in the standard type and maybe the advanced type, if it can be sided.
Rank up Magic Skip Force. Target one Raidraptor Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one Raidraptor monster that is 2 ranks higher than that target, by using that target as the Xyz material. This special summon is treated as an Xyz summon. Xyz materials attached to that target also become Xyz materials in the summon monster. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and one Raidraptor monster from your graveyard. Then target one Raidraptors as monster in your graveyard, special summon it.
This one is also not notable enough to give much of my thoughts, other than the monster reborn effect for Raidraptors is still a good touch.
Well, the common play to use this is after using Lastrix to get out a Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck and rank up for a boss monster. I know that this rank up spell got me the advantage on numerous duels in the day. It's highly recommended in the standard type and in the advanced type.
Rank up Magic Soul Shave Force. Pay half your life points. Then target one Raidraptor Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then special summon from your extra deck one Xyz monster that is 2 ranks higher than that monster, by using it as the Xyz material. This special summon is treated as an Xyz summon.
Paying half of your life points is an iffy cause, but potentially going to a more powerful Xyz monster, like in this archetype's instance an Ultimate Falcon, is understandable.
Actually, it's funny you should say that. True, this rank up spell allows you to rank up after paying half your life points to summon an Xyz Raidraptor from your grave, and it can be costly. However, believe it or not, This rank up spell is not limited to just Raidraptor Xyz.
What, really?
Really. A common strategy I've seen, and even done, is to rank up for certain non-Raidraptor Xyz that can be helpful, which we will list shortly. It's why it's recommended for the standard type, although not really for the advanced type.
Raptors cast when a spell/trap card is activated. While you control a Raidraptor card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card.
A spell and trap negator for this archetype is nice to use.
I agree. It's handy to have against spells and traps. The only drawback is that you need to have a face-up Raidraptor card on the field in order to activate it. If you draw it and have no Raidraptor cards in your hoof or field, it can be a dead draw. I will say that it can be in the standard type, but not for the advanced type. But I guess it can be optional for either.
Raptor's ultimate base equip only to a Raidraptor monster. It gains 1000 attack. When the equipped monster is targeted for an attack by a monster whose attack is higher than the equipped monster, you can add one rank up magic spell card from your deck to your hand. And if you do, you take no battle damage from that battle.
This equip spell looks like it's something you could use, but it isn't recommended.
That I have to agree. Not really much else to say.
Rise rank up magic Raidraptor's force. During the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, target 2 or more Raidraptor Xyz monsters you control and or in your graveyard, including a monster in the field. If at least 2 remain face up at resolution, special summon 1 Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to their combined ranks. And if you do, attach the targeted monsters to it as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon. Transfer their materials to the summoned monster. You can only activate 1 Rise rank up magic Raidraptor's force per turn.
As far as I know, this is the rank up magic card Raidraptor players use to summon the rank 13 monster. And I find it crazy that this card does it through the synchro method, only without the tuner part. Also, using this during your opponent's battle phase after summoning the rank 13, let's wipe their field so they have no chance to attack that turn. Assuming they don't have a card that protects their entire field from the board wipe.
That is true. And it's nothing compared to the effect Rise Rebellion Falcon has of inflicting damage to your opponent equal to the combined total of their original attack. In other words, if played right, it can be OTK without attacking your opponent. This is why the combo of using this rank up spell with Rising Rebellion Falcon is so powerful. This card is highly recommended in either type, but mostly in the advanced type.
Raider's Unbreakable Mind. This card is always treated as the Phantom Knights and Raidraptor card. If you Xyz summon using a Dark Xyz monster as material, you can target 1 card in the field, destroying it. If this face-up card in the spell and trap zone is destroyed by a card effect, you can set 1 rank-up magic spell directly from your deck or graveyard. You can only use each effect on Raider's Unbreakable Mind once per turn.
Another cool card, but something's telling me that this also isn't recommended. Honestly, this card should have been made as the Raidraptor version of Thunder Dragon Discharge.
I have to say you are right about that. In my opinion, this card can be optional in the standard type, but not so much for the advanced type.
I actually don't know what to like about this archetype since I never have actually played it. So, instead, I'm gonna let you answer that question solely, Raptor.
Sure, and it's quite a good question. I guess it basically started with a friend of mine at my locals mentioning it to me about the archetype at 1YCS. He told me about it and joked that I could call myself Raidraptormon afterward. After that, I studied the deck with the help of my other friend, DCRS Hero. Then, soon after, I watched the Arc 5 anime and got introduced to the character Shay. I guess I love the deck because its playing style is versatile in defense and strong beatdown. Plus, the art style of the cards are like Mechanical Bird Gundams. And in the anime, the sound of the Xyz monsters is so awesome and majestic. Which, bonus fact, the iconic bird cry sound used for the Raidraptor Xyz monsters is actually the cry of the character Tallyhawk from the 80s cartoon called Silverhawks. Have a listen.
Okay, Tallyhawk, time to finish off the Silverhawks.
I Xyz summon! Witness the ascent of Raidraptor Rise Falcon!
Just 100 attack points?
Interesting, huh? Anyway, that covers why I love the deck so much. Its art style, its play style, and the character who uses them.
We are now going to card recommendations.
The cards we will list will actually help make the deck stronger and more competitive if one desires, for the main deck and/or the side deck.
Anywho, here are the recommended cards for the archetype. For main deck monsters, DD Crow, Samorg Bird of Perfection, Blackwing Sephiroth the Elite, Ash Blossom Enjoys Spring, Dark Honest, Max C, Avec Valor, Nibiru the Primordial Beam, Melcharmy Fellows, and Drone Lockbird.
For the spells and traps, Harpy's Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, Swallow's Nest, Icarus Attack, Xyz Reborn, Cattle Call, Allure of Darkness, Raigeki, Lightning Storm, Cosmic Cyclone, Xyz Veil, the Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Launch, Evenly Matched, Called by the Grave, Dominus Impulse, Infinite Impermanence, Solman Judgment, Solman Strike, Book of Eclipse, Triple Tactics Talent, Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force, Phantom Knight's Fogblade, and the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine.
For extra deck, Dark Rebellion, Requiem, and Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragons, Evil Swarm Nightmare, Castout Skyblaster Musketeer, Cyber Dragon Infinity, Number 77 The Seven Sins, and the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. Other than Phantom Knights, I'm not for sure what archetype is great to combine with these birds.
Well, I have seen people use these with Blackwings, as they are compatible due to being dark-winged beast types. One person even commented about Raidraptors being like Blackwings, only with Xyz instead of Synchros. I've seen it with that on some tag duels of one using Phantom Knights or Blackwings alongside Raidraptors.
To conclude this video, RaidRaptors, while as of this video I might not be into them, they're a pretty cool archetype to go with if you're into Xyz monsters. Also, the mechanical birds look pretty cool.
I'm glad you think so.
And I'm glad you came on for this particular video of the series, Raptor.
Thanks. Happy to help out.
If you guys want to check out Raptormon's YouTube channel, a link to it will be in the description below. I do recommend checking out his MLP blind reaction videos, because there is this one thing about those that intrigue me compared to other reactors I've seen. That being that he does put a bit of text commentary for a did you know kind of detail, or something along like that.
Uh-huh. I also do song covers, voice actor encounter videos, and other videos too. So, as Digi said, do feel free to check out my channel, and if you like, subscribe if you haven't already.
And before I end the video, I'll be real with you guys, I originally was going to do another poll after this video was finished, but I decided to change it at the last minute to where I'm going to choose what the next archetype I'm going to be covering. And also I'm going to be doing the next one after that. But after those two, I will allow you guys to vote on what archetype should be next. Anywho, the next archetype I'm actually going to be covering are the Crystal Beasts. Until such time as we meet again, this is Digibox360, aka DigicX90, signing off.